everyone. This is Mark from Team Shockwave. I'm here with Dylan here in my locals, and he's playing a very interesting and fun deck that caught my eye. It's called Vylon. So Dylan, you want to explain a little bit about the deck?
Okay, so Vylons are an equip spell based deck. They are a synchro based deck as well. I was playing around with them online for a while, and I discovered that they have this really interesting loop they can do, where you get to spam out a lot of tuners really, really quickly, and it can drop some really big monsters really fast. So it's not an incredibly good deck, but it's incredibly fun. So yeah.
Then let's look at the deck right now then.
Okay, so first off, I run one Vylon Sphere.
Can we just switch that around?
Oh, yep. One Vylon Sphere. Sphere is... he doesn't really... His effect is useful, and I'll explain why later, but he doesn't really do all that much for the deck beyond being a 1-star tuner. That's his purpose. I then run 3 Vylon Chargers. These guys are just 4-star non-tuners. Their effects are useful if you want to beat down something, but pretty irrelevant as well. I run 1 Vylon Vanguard, just another 4-star non-tuner, but he also gives you some draw power and some defense if you need it. I then run 2 Vylon Tetras. Tetra is really, really important for making sure your big boss monsters don't die. I'm going to move these over here so I have room. Then I run 2 Vylon Cubes. Vylon Cube is a great searcher, and he's what he'll eventually allow me to get right into Vylon Omega, which I'll show later. I run 3 Vylon Prisms. These guys are great. They're a 4-star tuner, and while I don't usually use them to sink into anything, I can spam 3 of them off of 1 loop and then make a Shockmaster, which is pretty awesome. Instant Shockmaster, no complaints.
You can put it anywhere in the center here, that'd be perfect.
1, 2, 3 Vylon Hepts. Hepts is just a 4-star non-tuner beater. 3 Vylon Ohms. Vylon Ohm, when I summon him, I get to banish a used equip card from my graveyard and then add it back to my hand on my next turn. So he's just a recycler. And that's it for monsters. And then for spells, I run 2 Hidden Armories. These are really, really necessary to search out the non-Vylon equip cards. I only run 3 non-Vylon equip cards, but you need these to get them out as fast as possible. I run 2 Dualities, just extra draw power, extra searching power, great card. 3 Vylon Elements. These are probably one of the core cards of this deck. What Element does is when a Vylon equip card is destroyed, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower Vylon tuner from the deck. So it allows you to just spam tuners really, really quickly. I then run 3 Rod of Silence KSs. These guys, their effect is almost useless. I run them for the sole reason of that they destroy equip cards. So if I have this guy equipped to a monster, and I equip a Vylon equip card to the monster, Vylon Elements effect will activate, and I get a tuner search. I get a tuner special summon. So then I run 3 Vylon Materials. These are plus 600 attack to any Vylon, and when it's destroyed, you get to add any Vylon spell card to your hand. So these guys are great searchers as well. 3 Vylon Segments. These guys prevent any Vylon monster they're equipped to from being targeted by traps or monster effects, so they're great defensive. And also, just like Material, when they're destroyed, you get to search another Vylon spell card. I then also run 3 Vylon Filaments, which prevents when one of your monsters that it's equipped to attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards in response. Also, it searches when it's destroyed. And then 3 Vylon Components. It allows an equipped monster to deal piercing damage. Also searches when it's destroyed. So what I do is I normal summon a non-tuner monster, play Element, equip the non-tuner with KS, and then equip it with any Vylon equip card, and I spam tuners really, really quickly, and then I can go into any given card from my extra deck. So for my extra deck, I run 1 Black Rose Dragon, just in case I need to nuke. I've never used him. I run 1 Scrap Dragon. He's actually a really great out for a lot of cards later in the game. I've used him a few times. I run 2 Vylon Deltas. This guy is just a searcher, so when he stays on the field to the end phase, you get to search any equipped card. So if you don't have the red equipped cards in your hand, you can just drop this guy and wait till the end phase. I then run 2 Vylon Omegas. These guys are the big baddies of the deck. With 3,200 attack, 3,800 when equipped with material, they beat over everything. At the same time, they can also destroy an equipped card attached to them to negate any monster effects of your opponents. They're just a great card in general. Then for XYZs, I run Exceeds, whatever. I run 1 Wind-Up Zen Mains, 1 Shockmaster. This guy is really, really important, as I discovered very recently. He is completely necessary to defend your Omega, and it's entirely possible to drop a first turn Omega and a first turn Shockmaster with this deck, which completely destroys your opponent. They're just completely locked down after that. 1 Maestroke, just in case I need to play defensively. Maestroke is a really defensive choice, but I like him anyway. Emerald, really useful for recycling my monsters, because this deck does not run Monster Reborn, it doesn't run Call of the Haunted. Emerald is really useful because of that. Utopia, I'm going to replace him with a Black Ship of Corn. This guy is just not nearly as useful as I would hope. Instead of him, run a Black Ship of Corn or run a Gem Knight Pearl. Leviathan, you can spam 2 cubes and go into Leviathan if you want. That's always a reasonable choice. Just a beater, nothing more. 1 Papillaperative. This guy is actually so much better than I ever thought he would be. This guy has won me games. He's just a useful anti-defensive deck. So like when I was playing against a Chainburn deck earlier, this guy was completely invaluable. 1 Gachi Gentetsu, again just another defensive choice that I can make out of my Tetras. And 1 Star Liege Paladin Emma. This guy is amazing. If you get a chance to run him in any deck, do it. When he dies, you draw a card, he can reduce a monster's attack to 0, he can negate effects. Fantastic card. So yeah, that is my deck. It's a lot of fun, and yeah.
All right, so it seems like it's really good, interesting deck, and have you seen the new ban list in OCG?
Yes, I have.
And if as of now, it's this Monday, so we should be getting the TCG confirmed ban list tomorrow. If it's the same thing as the OCG, is there will be any changes that you will make for this?
I would probably add in another duality. Duality has proven to be a lot more useful than I thought it would. I would probably remove my 1 Vylon Vanguard and replace him with a duality. Vanguard has just been serving no other purpose than being a 4-star non-tuner Vylon monster, so I feel that with another duality I'd have more options added to my deck rather than just a single Vanguard.
Alright then. It seems like the round might be starting up next, so any more last words before we head out?
No, I got nothing left to say.
Alright then, thanks Dylan for the deck profile. This is Parker, signing out.